There's a lot of misconception when it comes to the show Goblin Slayer. In most cases, people would find several reasons for not liking a show, but in Goblin Slayer's case, it just seems to be one scene in particular that seems to determine everyone's outtake on the series. And while I will touch upon that topic, which is a very sensitive issue towards the end of the video, I want to talk about and touch upon the meaning of the show Goblin Slayer and what the show is actually about and the meaning behind the series itself outside of that one unfortunate predicament in the first episode. But with the introduction out the way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this video will shed some light on both Goblin Slayer and the people that love the series as much as I do. But without further ado, let's begin. The best way to describe the first episode of Goblin Slayer is a sense of false hope. I say that because in most magical fantasy series such as Konosuba, that time it got reincarnated into a slime, Overlord, Sword Art Online, and etc., these series give the impression and the notion that this genre is based on fantasy, and it gives the notion that anything is possible, and that's because it's an anime based on fiction, and it gives the viewer watching said show the comfort and escape from realism for most viewers. But this is not that show, and this is not that company. The company working on Goblin Slayer, Studio White Fox, are known for their more gruesome and serious anime with series such as Steins Gate, Akame ga Kill, and my all-time favorite series ReZero or Starting Life in Another World. In a lot of these series, Studio White Fox has always found a way to piss people off in some form or fashion, whether it be from Studio White Fox Dark Tone from Akame ga Kill.
Listen, happy little family.
Say, look up here, and then that girl tortured Saya to death.
These trash are just worthless filth! They're nothing but livestock for me to use as I see fit! Garbage like her doesn't have the right to such beautiful hair! Mine is always giving me trouble, so I treated her extra special! She should be honored that I gave her so much attention! Ungrateful
I'll do it!
Or Subaru betraying actual human emotions like a real person would, but that's a video for another time. And with Goblin Slayer's newest scene, I say this because the way that you interpret life or the way how you see anime is not how everyone else sees it, and that correlates to when it comes to art as well, and how you see something is not how everyone else sees it. And I wanted to mention this at the start of the video as an introduction, but I couldn't find the right way to start it up until now, and that is when it comes to life or any controversial topic in general, it boils down to the notion that people see what they want to see and people believe what they want to believe in. And I'm a firm believer in this because series like Goblin Slayer can tell an adult story in a more mature fashion, and people would still be upset knowing those two terminologies, adult and maturity. And not to say that you have to like these conditions to watch any show, but know this, don't base the whole series off of one episode, and don't base your opinion off of your favorite YouTuber. If you follow any of these two statements and that you don't have a mind of your own, then you are very simple-minded on the most highest degree and can't form your own opinion. I feel that Studio White Fox does a really good job of setting up for expectations. I say this because in a lot of their projects, they all start off very peaceful and really lighthearted, but as the episode continues, it starts to unravel itself and you see the more common nature of said series, and what it's truly capable of until it reaches ending gold. The two series that stick out in particular for me are Akame ga Kill and ReZero. I say this because the series starts off extremely positive, but as the main character goes throughout life and comes across her first encounter, she realizes that the life she seeks after and the way they interpreted life is not what they think, and all of those incidents correlate within the first episode of Goblin Slayer, a light-hearted story with a dark meaning behind it, not just because the series is trying to be edgy about it, it's because at the first episode, or at least the beginning of it, you're seeing it from the eyes of the priestess, and then later on seeing it from a different perspective of the eyes of Goblin Slayer, of course. And I think that was the purpose of the first episode, how the priestess sees the world and how people see life as fragile and weak people are, but for everyone else, we see the world as the harsh, cruel reality that it is, and what life truly has in store for us if you're weak. And it all comes down to a matter of perspective. You're seeing it from the eyes of the innocent priestess, and you're also seeing it from the eyes of the harsh reality of the Goblin Slayer perspective. I want to specify this very heavily before I come to my conclusion for this video, and that is in no way, shape, or form is Goblin Slayer showing these dark tones in their show for the sake of being edgy or dark. Two scenes in particular that really stick out for me, and the reason why I stuck with the series, are episode 5 and all of episode 8. I'll let the elf archer speak for herself and show the manga panel, but these two episodes itself really show the impact and the meaning behind the show Goblin Slayer and why I stuck with the series all throughout, and shows a lighter tone and even a lightheartedness between the series and the characters themselves.
やっぱり私オルクボルグのこと嫌いだわ。だって冒険は楽しいものだもの。未知を体験したり新たなものを発見したりする喜び、 高揚感や達成感、それが私の冒険。こんなのは冒険じゃない。いつか必ず冒険させてやるわ。でもね、見えてるんです。ぼやけているけれど、あなたの影みたいな佇まいもちゃんとどこにでもいるけれど、目を離すと不意に消え失せてしまうような影のような人というのは、女というのは弱いものです。私不安なのです。怖いのです。おかしいでしょう。剣の乙女ともあろう女が毎夜毎晩怖くて恐ろしくてたまらないのですよ。こんな世界ですもの。助けとなるものはいくらあっても他の方にはきっとわからないでしょうけれどね。
そうか。
A lot of scenes in Goblin Slayer shows and proves that even when times get rough, even when you're at your darkest hours, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel, and even when you deal with hardships and struggles that life throws at you, you'll be able to accomplish anything you see, and you'll be able to see the lighter sides of life that this world has to offer you. Scenes like explaining the true meaning of an adventure from the elf and touching upon the meaning of life from the swordsman, because they both show within the series that even when you're at your darkest moments, even when there's no one that you can turn to, there's still always someone or something to pull you out of your depression, and that there's always a light or someone to pull you out of your despair, and that can show you that life is worth living and worth working your hardest to see a brighter future every day. And with coming across such emotions and meanings behind a show itself like this is why I love Goblin Slayer so much, and for my interpretation, that is the meaning of this show.
好きにするって言ったじゃないですか。
そうか。
そうですよ。ほんと仕方のない人ですね。
すまん。
そういうの聞きたくないです。
すまん。
This week on Friday, we'll show a brand new episode of Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi at 7:30, and a Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi marathon from 11 to 4. Rock in the new year with a live Puffy Amiyumi concert at
Last batch of cookies and milk for Santa. I don't want you to eat this batch, okay?
Okay, Xander, I won't.
You won't?
No, I won't.
You won't?
I can't.
Why can't you?